Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Franchise Interviews. For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship. Listen to interviews with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys. And now, welcome your host, Marty McDermott, and Franchise Interviews.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott, and I'm the president of Franchise Interviews. We have a great show today. We're meeting with Mila Feldman and Lenny Verkhoglaz of the Executive Care Franchise Opportunity. And Executive Care offers services that help families, often overwhelmed with the responsibility of providing care to a loved one, all while ensuring that the patient remains in the comfort of his or her own home. And we're going to talk to Lenny and Mila about that in just a moment on Franchise Interviews. So stick around because we got a great show.
Are you looking for a franchise that delivers? Businesses will always need shipping, and for more than 25 years, loyal customers have depended on Unishippers for reliable savings and exceptional customer service. Unishippers is focused on just one thing: helping small and medium-sized businesses save time and money on all their shipping needs. And as the largest reseller of complete shipping services in the country, we have the buying power to ensure that we succeed. The Unishippers franchise offers low startup costs, no equipment or real estate required because they're not retail, residual income, and a quality of life and work-life balance. For more information on becoming a Unishippers franchisee, go to www.unishippers.com and click Franchise Opportunities or call Franchise Development at 801-708-5822. That's 801-708-5822.
Are you one of those special people who are willing to go after your dreams and goals? Are you ready to fulfill that dream of owning your own business with the security of a proven brand? The opportunity to take control of your future and own a Rita's Italian Ice franchise is within your reach.
Rita's is seeking success-oriented individuals who are ready to make a change in their life, and Rita's offers unparalleled training and support to assure your success. And did you know the frozen treat industry is a recession-proof industry, and there are Rita's in 23 states currently with 540 stores open. Rita's Italian Ice has been around for 25 years and is listed as a top-performing franchise by the Wall Street Journal.
Now here's the really good part. Rita's Italian Ice is a unique and amazing taste treat. It's smoother than a snow cone, and it combines ice with real fresh fruit. The real fruit adds dramatically to the taste, and it comes in over 40 flavors. The ice and fruit are mixed on site and made fresh daily, and it is delicious.
You'll want to know more about this exciting and successful franchise opportunity. Go to www.ownaritas.com and get all your questions answered. That's www.ownaritas.com to take control of your dreams and future today. You don't want to wait any longer to be a part of this adventure. www.ownaritas.com.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott, and I'm the president of Franchise Interviews. And as we were saying earlier, we have a great show today. We're meeting with Mila Feldman and Lenny Verkhoglaz of the Executive Care Franchise Opportunity. And Executive Care offers services that help families often overwhelmed with the responsibility of providing care to a loved one, all while ensuring the patient remains in the comfort of his or her own home. Hi, Mila and Lenny. How you doing today? Welcome to the show.
for having us today.
Good morning.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Thank you. Well, I would like to ask our guests, where are you calling from today?
We're calling from New Jersey, Hackensack, New Jersey, to be specific.
Oh, beautiful. I love New Jersey. We're not far from New Jersey, actually, Lenny. I'm in East End, Pennsylvania, so it's only the river that's actually separating us. So I know the weather's nice there today, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's gorgeous today.
That's fantastic. That's great. I thought we could sort of, there's an interesting story behind Executive Care and how the whole, company started. I thought, maybe either one of you, can talk about, the origin of the business.
Absolutely. I'm going to have Mila talk about it because she's so passionate about care, about patients, about home care.
Okay, go ahead, Mila.
Hi, Marty. Again, thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Well, I will go back over 10 years ago and just tell you a little bit of what happened to me.
Right.
I received a phone call from our community leader regarding this wonderful woman that was home alone while her daughter went on vacation on a cruise that obviously couldn't be reached. Together, I went with this man to her home to meet her because I didn't know her, and he did. So he introduced me, and, of course, what I saw, I realized there was no way I could have left her alone.
Right.
She was she was bedbound and completely helpless, couldn't at all take care of herself, even get food from her refrigerator. So I met her, and I told her, don't worry, I will make sure that you're not going to be alone until your daughter comes home. So, of course, I went outside. I called my husband, and I said, guess what we're doing today for Valentine's Day?
Right.
And though we had some plans, he was going to surprise me, but I said, well, this is where we're going to be.
Yeah.
So, of course, back then my kids were young, so I called my brother Alex, and I asked him, please stay with the children while I'm going to spend time with Helen. And, of course, I didn't have much experience, but she was just so sweet, and she was so lovely that, you know what, we blew up our mattress, and we stayed with her until, of course, almost 2 weeks until her daughter came home. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. It opened my eyes to all different things, and I always feel that God opens your eyes to different things in life, and this was where I guess my passion was, and it was the best thing I've ever done, and she was so grateful, and I did an amazing job, if I could say so myself.
Right.
And this is what I did, and after her daughter came home, I said, this is what I want to do. I really, really want to have a home care business, and I started with absolutely nothing, one client at a time, and we've built it to an amazing business that we love so very much, and I feel God, again, thank you to God that my eyes were open to this wonderful experience and this wonderful opportunity.
It's a wonderful story, Mila. As I was reading it too, and when I heard about it, that's what I got out of it too. It's almost like it was a calling from God. I mean, it was really almost like your destiny. That's what you were meant to do. And as Lenny was saying, I can even sense your passion in reading about you, through the publications. And you've both done very well too. I understand. I guess I have to congratulate you too. I understand that you were, I think you were nominated for the Ernst & Young, was it the Entrepreneur of the Year award in New Jersey, which is a pretty prestigious award, isn't it?
Absolutely. We actually made it to the finalist list.
That's amazing, Lenny. That's fantastic. Congratulations. How does that feel for you? Because it is I'm familiar with the award. I mean, it's very prestigious, isn't it?
We feel very accomplished, very honored that we were selected, and we just closed our eyes and went into this without expecting anything in return.
Right.
We tried it out, and luckily we got in, and we're still pursuing the award, which should be announced June 13th.
Right.
And hopefully, if we win that one, we'll go to the Nationals.
That's fantastic.
Still champions.
Yeah, what do you attribute it to, Lenny and Mila? I mean, the success of that particular award, because again, I mean, there's tens of thousands of businesses, to be selected, by Ernst & Young. I mean, it says something about the both of you. I mean, what do you attribute it to? I mean, is it Mila's passion? Is it being in the right place at the right time?
When they came here to meet with us, I feel that through our eyes and through us, they were able to see how much we love what we do and how many people that we helped. And we told them story after story. Helen's story is not the only story that I have. We have, our company has taken on clients that no agency would have taken. We've taken things from absolutely disastrous situation and made it so positive. That's one thing I think about me, that I've been always positive throughout my life. Because we always say negative things do happen, but I take that negative and I make it positive. And this is how my staff works here. We always say there's never a difficult case. Everything is a little challenging, but we make it work. And I think when the three people that came to interview us, first of all, they didn't want to leave our office. It was supposed to be, I think, hour and a half interview that lasted double time.
Wow.
And we came so close, and they just said that we've met so many people, so many other agencies, and we haven't felt the passion that we feel here. And I believe, and that's what really
set us apart.
From everybody else. And that was another question I had, for the both of you too, is because there are, you've been in this industry for quite a while now. I mean, when you first got into it. So I mean, there's been, I guess you could say, a lot more players or a lot more franchises coming into this particular industry. Would you say that is what sets you apart then, Mila and Lenny? Is the passion for the industry?
I believe that. I believe when we do go out to meet families, to meet our clients, we give them the comfort. We are very, very honest with what we do. We want to be able to tell them what they're getting into. Just explain what home care is so they're not nervous, so they understand, so the family members know who they're dealing with. One thing I always say that home care is very, very personal. It's not an item that you can feel or touch or experience. You have to experience it with the people that you on the same page with, that you feel comfortable with. And I think that's what it's about. It's not about the money. It's not about. Money is not everything in this world. So you need to make sure that the families that's going home with you, they're so nervous. They don't know what they're getting into, and I think that's what sets us apart.
That's fantastic. How do you describe, I mean, if you were at a franchise show, and someone came up to your booth and they said, so what do you guys do? How do you typically respond to the question?
First of all, we tell them that we have nearly a decade of home care experience.
Important.
We lived it. We haven't just built a franchise. Just one day we decided to do that.
We took
experiences, even the mistakes we made along the way, and we encapsulated it into this nice package with that other folks, franchisees, can take and run with it. We've developed a complete model that the franchisees, it's a turnkey solution. Franchisees can take on and run with it, and they'll get all the necessary and absolute support from the home office in marketing, sales, technology, and all other aspects of being a franchisee. And I want to mention a few words about technology. This is my background. I've been in technology for nearly 20 years, and I brought my management and technology experience to first to my home care company and then to the franchise. So we have a great complementary skills that we brought along. Mila's passion for client care, families, my passion for technology management, and we put it all together and created a very nice set of a good franchise system that we're offering to the franchisees, to the investors.
We also spoke to some people that are in a franchise, our franchisees, and we've asked, what is your experience in being franchisor. And some people said it was they don't get enough support.
Right.
They're having a hard time getting answers. They're having a hard time getting somebody to call them back. And that's one thing that I think will set us apart, is because we want to be there for our people, because we feel their success is our success. And I think that whenever we get a phone call, we're going to respond immediately. We have a lot of people that are on the go, that are very experienced. No matter where we have our offices, we're going to be able to go immediately. So whenever they have some kind of an issue, there's always going to be someone that will help them to get out of it or resolve it.
It is a partnership, isn't it, Mila and Lenny?
It absolutely is, because, again, if they're successful, we are successful.
You're successful.
That's the only way to build this is a partnership.
What do you look for in your franchisees, Mila and Lenny? Is there something that you look for as far as, before you go forward and say, I think this person is a match for our franchise system? What characteristics or traits or, that you look for them to be part of the company?
To basically, to put it in one sentence, we'd like to see us in them.
Right. The same thing, same qualities and traits.
We want to see us in them. If we meet eye to eye, if we see that they're good people, honest, if they can follow our formula, which has been successful over the last 10 years almost, they are the true candidates for executive care opportunity. Of course, there are other criteria that every other franchisor has, capital and net worth and all that. These are secondary. Yes, we would like to have folks who can afford to buy into our franchise, but it's their quality of character that it really makes us look for the right person.
How would you describe, once you decide that, they are a match, Lenny and Mila, what's the training like from that point? I mean, will they come to corporate? Will you go to them? How does that typically work?
What we would like to do, we will be willing to come out to them, but we prefer that they come to us, because in reality, the way we're situated is we have our operating agency on the first floor of the building, and our corporate headquarters, franchise headquarters, are right above it. So when they get here, they see a real agency. They see the humming. They see how it hums, how it operates, how people are working. They can actually experience the real agency. And during our training, we actually have operations managers, coordinators, marketing folks, and others come up to the during the training class and provide their experience, so the students can feel and hear real home care in action.
And that's one thing that you really don't see much of. Again, home care is not for everybody.
Right.
So when they come up here, and they will be able to see how hectic it is and how wonderful it is, just to see if this is something they want to do. This is not a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes you need to work after hours or maybe even weekends. I mean, we've done it all. I will never tell my client, if somebody needs services, that I'm busy, I can't come out on a Saturday. I've gone in a snowstorm, any kind of weather, no stopping us. So, it's a very, very rewarding business. When you see that you're helping people, when you take someone home and they're bedbound, and then you see them get up and start walking, that's what I want to see. That's my success.
That's the reward right there, Mila, is, it is, and again, I've been studying this particular industry for a long time, and it certainly is, of all the industries in franchising, I think it's certainly one of my favorites. And I think the thing I like about it, too, is, as you said, you do have the potential of making a nice amount of money because the market is so huge, but it sounds like there's something even bigger than the financial rewards, as you just said, is the ability to see something like you just described. There must not be a feeling like it, I imagine.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. How do you describe like a typical day for someone who, they're very interested in the franchise and they want to get a better picture? It's obviously, as you mentioned, Mila, it's not a 9-to-5 type of franchise. But what is a typical? Well, it's probably not a great question for your particular franchise. But is there such a thing as a typical day?
It varies, like you said. Your day could no day is alike.
Yeah,
you get to meet all kinds of people throughout the day. You get to meet clients. You get to meet caregivers. You get to meet referral sources, social workers, doctors, admissions directors. There's a slew of people you see throughout the day, and then you also you have the operational issues or tasks, billing, payroll, recruiting, training. It's exciting, it's dynamic, and like I said, no 2 days are alike.
Which is probably good for a lot of people. There's probably a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs out there too, Lenny, I guess, that like that diversity. You know what I mean? There's some out there that want the consistent same thing, 9 to 5, and there's others out there that want that variety, which sounds like would be a good match for this type of franchise. From everything you've been doing, I mean, all the years you've been doing this now, because it has been a while, what advice would you give to we call them aspiring franchipreneurs. The majority of our listeners, they know they want to buy a franchise. We find their biggest question is always, they don't know where to begin because there's just so much out there today. I think we're up to like 2,500 different franchise systems, and there's like 80 different industries. So where do they begin? Like, what advice would you give to them in their quest to buy a franchise?
I think you have to choose to see what it is that you like to do. If you like to help people, this would be the right franchise for you. If you like to sell yogurt, that would be the right thing for you. I think you have to sit down and really think about what you want to do and what type of a business you want to get into. There are seasonal businesses, I think. Our business is good all year round.
Right.
This type of business, people always need you, and anybody is, always. People are always looking for help that we provide. And of course, you have to be positive and believe in what you want to do, because this is what got me through is my positive. Because when you start any type of business, you always have to be positive that you will grow, that you will be successful, and I think that's what got me through. And it's still getting me through because I'm always, like I said, I look at everything in a positive way. And I think once people decide if this is something for them, if you want to help people, if you love helping people and seeing them get well, get better, and have families, thank you 50,000 times. Thank you so much for doing this for my mom and dad. Then that is the type of business you want to get into.
That's fantastic. What are the plans for the future then, Mila and Lenny? I mean, I understand now that Executive Care, they will be like expanding nationally in the United States. It sounds like, but if you can like predict like the next like 3 to 5 years, like where do you see yourselves?
We right now we franchised 2 offices so far.
Okay.
Both of them are in New Jersey, and we see ourselves operating initially in the northeast corner of the United States, and expanding south and west from here. Obviously, we will not turn down inquiries from California or Oregon or other states, but our preference is to grow steadily, methodically, so that we can provide good support. That's our number one priority, so that franchisees are successful. Like Mila mentioned, if they're successful, we are successful. And if they would be the best spokespeople for us, we can provide good support and for them ability to make money at this, and provide good care. That's important as well. So we would like to do it in a very methodical way.
It sounds like you don't want to get too big too fast. You know, there's been some franchises out there that have gotten too big too fast. I remember Wendy's. That happened to Wendy's at one point. They just got too big too fast, and they weren't able to support their franchisees. You know, and that wasn't a good thing in the end. No. You know, so I mean, I think it is a very good approach to grow it, and as Lenny says, a methodical way, you know. So that's fantastic. What's been the most interesting thing that's happened to you since starting this whole thing, Mila or Lenny?
It's an interesting business, being a franchisor.
How much time do we have? Because I have so many stories to tell you.
That's a deep question, isn't it?
It's just, even one example with Hurricane Sandy, how we worked out of. I was the only one. Our house was the only one that had power. So we all my people came to the office, and we were able to get. The phones were transferred to cell phones, so we were able to get all the information on our clients, on our caregivers, how everybody got to places, how we were able to get water, how we had our vans take water to our clients and food, whoever needed it. I don't know, there's just so many stories that I can tell you that are amazing. But like I was told, we only have 25 minutes, so.
That's true. And that's why probably the guys from Ernst & Young's were there so long, right? Because of all these different stories, Mila, I mean, I can sense in, talking to the both of you, your passion in the business. And, I think that's so important. And, it's nice to know that, for our listeners, if they're interested in this type of franchise opportunity, that they get you and Lenny at the same time. There's like a lot of like great stories out there. Like if you become, and not to pick on Subway, but if you become a Subway franchisee, sometimes you're called like number 33,299. You know what I mean? Because they just have so many franchisees. So it's nice to know that sometimes with a smaller franchise system, that if someone wants to talk to the founders and the leaders of the company, they can do that with you. In your case, so I think that's so important. Is the industry, is it still getting bigger, Mila and Lenny? I mean, when I studied it back in 1999, I was interviewed by the LA Times back in 1999. They said, what industry should people be looking towards in franchising? And I said, senior care. And it seems like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The market keeps getting bigger and bigger. Are there any numbers now on the industry as far as what it's up to, or?
Well, it's projected to be roughly $94 billion in projected revenue by year 2015. I think today it's around $75 billion.
It's incredible. Yeah, it just keeps going up and up, doesn't it? I mean, the numbers. It's just it's amazing, and for good reason, I guess. People still want to stay home, don't they? They don't want to go to a nursing home.
Absolutely. They get better care at home. They have one-on-one.
Yeah.
You prevent falls and all different kind of things that could happen, throughout the day. And today you see more and more, not only seniors that needing help. Mm-hmm. So this is definitely a very much growing industry, and everybody wants to stay home, and definitely one-on-one help helps.
And Mila really hit it on the head. Because we are not just a senior care company, we're a home care company. We're not ignoring other major, I guess I would call them, folks like people with chronic illnesses, strokes, accident victims, people recovering from surgeries, Parkinson's disease, and the list goes on and on and on. And we also skilled care as well. And this is something what we do is we perfect a revenue stream, for example, skilled care, and launch it to the franchisees so they can have additional revenue sources.
That's wonderful. What's the best way for our listeners to get more information on becoming a franchisee and all the services provided by Executive? Is there any websites they should go to or any numbers they should call?
www.executivehomecare.com or 855-EXEC-FRAN, EXECFRAN.
That's great. I want to thank you again, Mila. You've been fantastic guest, and good luck on that award again by Ernst & Young, by the way. I'm going to be looking out, and I hope that you guys win it, because I think you deserve it. I think that would be fantastic for your franchise.
Thank you for everything.
And it's been my pleasure having you on the show, and I'd really like to invite you back next year as you continue to grow, especially since you're only one state over. So that's fantastic.
Thank you. We would love.
Thanks, Mila and Lenny. Have a great day today, and we'll be right back with more franchise interviews.
Franchisers, are you looking to reach aspiring entrepreneurs looking to buy a franchise? Are you looking to reach a highly educated audience on franchising? For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship through our website, franchiseinterviews.com, where you can hear and read interviews as well as get tips from some of the most successful sources in franchising. Our weekly franchise radio show where each week you get to hear a new interview with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys, and our podcast, Great Quotes in Franchising. For more information, go to franchiseinterviews.com or call us at 610-905-2919. That's 610-905-2919.
Need a business loan? Talk to Diamond Financial Services, the experts in franchise financing nationwide. Whether you're looking to start a franchise, acquire an existing franchise, or expand your territory through opening new locations, Diamond Financial stands by your side start to finish. From pre-qualification to packaging and presenting your application to securing a financial commitment and through the loan closing process, Diamond Financial is there. While you're waiting, thousands of others are making their financial dreams come true. Don't wait any longer. Pre-qualify now by completing a confidential, no-obligation financial analysis. Let's face it, traditional banks just aren't in the business of financing small business. At Diamond Financial, we specialize in securing franchise loans from $100,000 to $3 million and equipment leasing up to $150,000. Let us help you get started. Go to www.franchisefunding.net or call 877-508-2274. That's franchisefunding.net, 877-508-2274.
Hi everyone, this is Marty McDermott from Franchise Interviews, and welcome to another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising, where each podcast you get to hear a great quote in franchising. You know, Don and I have been hosting Franchise Interviews now over 2 years with over 111 shows under our belt, and during that time frame we've had some incredible quotes on our show. Today you're going to get to hear from Steve Biegelman, who is a franchise expert and veteran, and Steve answers the question, should I go with a small franchise system or a large franchise system? And I thought Steve's response was quite brilliant. So first we'll hear a quick word from our sponsor, and then Steve Biegelman with, should I go with a small franchise system or a large franchise system? Take care, everyone.
Are you one of those special people who are willing to go after your dreams and goals? Are you ready to fulfill that dream of owning your own business with the security of a proven brand? The opportunity to take control of your future and own a Rita's Italian Ice franchise is within your reach.
Rita's is seeking success-oriented individuals who are ready to make a change in their life, and Rita's offers unparalleled training and support to assure your success. And did you know the frozen treat industry is a recession-proof industry, and there are Rita's in 23 states currently with 540 stores open. Rita's Italian Ice has been around for 25 years and is listed as a top-performing franchise by the Wall Street Journal.
Now here's the really good part. Rita's Italian Ice is a unique and amazing taste treat. It's smoother than a snow cone, and it combines ice with real fresh fruit. The real fruit adds dramatically to the taste, and it comes in over 40 flavors. The ice and fruit are mixed on site and made fresh daily, and it is delicious.
You'll want to know more about this exciting and successful franchise opportunity. Go to www.ownaritas.com and get all your questions answered. That's www.ownaritas.com to take control of your dreams and future today. You don't want to wait any longer to be a part of this adventure. www.ownaritas.com. ownaritas.com.
Yeah, very important. So, you've been with small startup franchise companies. You've been at the larger companies. What are some of the big differences between those two type of scenarios, Steve?
Well, Don, smaller companies obviously give a lot of attention to the franchisee. So, every franchisee, that franchisee by name. You can get a hold of, the owners of the company or the CEO of the franchise system. Pretty much you build very, very strong relationships when you're joining a smaller system. When you're joining a smaller system, you also typically get your choice of prime territory, maybe in your backyard where you want to be and open a business. You don't want to have to drive an hour to your store every day or your location. Right. So you get the prime territory, you get to know the management team, the owners of the company and the concept, and really build that strong relationship. The challenge is the brands aren't as well known, so it takes time. And, obviously you need to make a decision when you're a franchise candidate or a potential franchisee looking at concepts. Do you want to join a company that's in the infancy and the growth stage, or do you want to join a more established, national brand that has presence but's going to have limited locations available? You might have to go a much farther distance to get that location, and they have, proven systems in place. So you're going to have to follow that system to a T, and you're going to deal typically with a regional operations manager and training managers in that region. You're not going to get to know the top level of management in a large company, whether it's a Dunkin' Donuts or a Dairy Queen or Yum Brands. You're just not going to have that kind of interaction with the top management team. They're just too large of an organization. Again, great companies, but it all depends what you're looking for as a franchise, candidate or potential franchisee.
It's a real interesting question, though, huh? That's where a franchise consultant come in, speaking to an expert like yourself, to really educate someone for that type of decision.
Sure. It is a big decision, and you need to really know yourself to know what you're looking for. If you want an absolute 100% proven concept that's been around, tried and true, then you're going to want to join one of the big chains that have been around for 20-plus years that have, thousands of units. But if you're more an entrepreneur and you kind of want to feel things out and be a part of the growth strategy of an organization and impact some of the marketing decisions and decisions from an operations standpoint for an organization, then you're going to look towards a smaller company that you can have impact, that you could be on the Franchise Advisory Council, that you could really be involved with decisions that the company makes for growing the brand forward.
If you have more territory, be in on the early part of the curve for that franchise that maybe has had some success so far, but they're really early in their process. So, yeah, real interesting.
Yep. In 2006,